Just give me 2 minutes, Reverend Barnes. I need to speak my piece, and then you can get back to preaching your boring old sermon.
We are not interested in listening to what a convicted felon has to say. Stirring that fire was a sin that could have murdered 2 people.
And what about gluttony, Vera? They say that's a sin, too. In fact, in Proverbs 23, it says, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. I believe you better get a butcher knife and start slicing Sister Sinner fat ass.
I have glandular problems.
And shall we move on to one of the 10 Commandments, Brother Barnes? Thou shalt not commit adultery. I believe you've been tapping that Evelyn Crawley for years. And that's the real reason she gets to sing a solo on Sunday, even though she can't carry a tune in a bucket.
That's a flat-out lie. My husband doesn't even have a prostate anymore. He's impotent.
Now, you were born in Cambridge.
Yes.
Grew up in Australia.
Yes.
Do you ever go back?
All the time. To Cambridge, you mean?
Yeah.
Actually, I went back, I think it was earlier this year. I went back. A gentleman who'd been working on fundraising for my hospital now works at the Cambridge Hospital. And so I went to see him and meet everyone at the Cambridge Hospital. And I went to the street that I lived when I was a little girl and knocked on the door.
No way.
Yeah.
I can imagine the faces.
They were like, oh my goodness, she said someone came and knocked on her door and I wanted to put a plaque on her house to say that I'd lived there, and she didn't want them to do it, which I don't blame her.
Why?
But,
I mean, it's...
well, being awful. I mean, people be annoying her all the time.
It's a dumb thing here. You go around and there's like so many plaques up of where so many people live.
Really?
It's just a dumb thing.
I didn't know that, but I didn't blame her. But we went and had a look through. She was very generous and let us look through the house. And, you know, when you're...
You can see a bedroom. And...
Yeah. When you're little, everything seems so big, and then you go back, it felt so petite.
Yeah.
But when you're little, everything seems so huge.
I know, I went back to my old house that I grew up in, and all the rooms looked so tiny, and I couldn't believe that there was 5 of us living, you know, in this 3-bedroom house. Well, 7 of us and 5 kids, and I just couldn't believe that, you know, this bedroom was so small, and we used to have to share and stuff like that.
Stephen's interest in films, as well as his own acting experience, helped him to develop a rapport with his interviewees.
You play Willie, who's he's an elf, and you're quite tall. How does that work?
Well, first of all, it's never polite to point out.
Sorry.
And I'm a little offended.
Are you?
I would rather people just take me for who I am rather than what my height is. Yes, I may be 6 foot tall, and that's highly unusual and strange to see. But frankly, I'm just a person, just like you or me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm small. I mean, I'm quite.
Well, you're about 2'6", something like that.
About 3'9".
3'9".
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I took a massive stretch last year.
Well, that worked. It worked.
But I want to ask about your famous karate chop. Have you ever hospitalized anybody doing that?
Every single person I do that to.
Everyone
has to go to the hospital. Yes.
Kermit,
several of them don't make it out.
You haven't really done nudity before.
No.
So this is kind of your first kind of. How was that strange? Was it just because I don't think I could ever do that. You know, especially having. I know it looks like there's not a lot happening on set. Like it's just the characters, but there's a big team around you. Isn't
no, absolutely.
And they're staring at you.
Yeah. They're all kind of standing behind the monitor, kind of sniggering. Absolutely, and that is hard to deal with. But I think it's it's all choreographed. I think because it has to be, otherwise it just feels too weird. And
but how does that happen? Do you kind of sit down?
We go in a room with the director and we go, what would you like to see? And it's literally that simple. and then we kind of block it out. You just block it out in terms of movements and stuff like that. And she's great because it's just okay, pants off and on the floor and the.
Now you've done a lot of theatre in the past. Well, your fair share of it. Which do you think is harder? Film or theatre?
I've never been able to sort of put a line between them. They're both very different. I mean, you get the days off in the theatre, which I quite like. So
one day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
but during the day you can kind of get your own time. But they're very different disciplines, and I love doing both of them. And I haven't done theatre for a while now, but I'd love to go.
But it's 6 months. You're doing it every day. You can get, and you've only got. It's like one take each night, isn't it? I mean, I've done theatre before, and I find it really difficult.
Yeah, it's really tricky. But I mean, it kind of if you get the right piece, then it's just, I like the shorter runs. 3 months.
3 months is nice.
Yeah.
Now, how do you prepare for the roles? Like, are you kind of one of these people that would lock themselves in the room for 2 weeks? Or?
No, but not if I can help it, no.
You're so fragile.
I am very fragile.
So delicate.
I am delicate. Don't hit me, please. Please don't hit me.